Everywhere I look, the bulls are running. Get on the bus or get run over. But is there anything left to buy at these levels? Stay tuned, we'll discuss this and much more. Hello, this is Michael Loftus, Loftus Wealth Strategies. Welcome to Wealth and Wisdom TV. First up, end of month, end of quarter. Look at those numbers, green across the board. Really having a tremendous year. Next, we have question from one of our viewers. Seeing that we're at all-time highs, are there any opportunities out there? Well, first let me say this. They're not a lot. It's very difficult, and I'm not a day trader, so we're still looking for good quality companies at value, which is in fact difficult to find. So one of the things I'm doing this quarter, heading into the fourth quarter, I'm going to keep an additional 5% in cash for those opportunities that present themselves. Now that being said, I think there are some opportunities on our sectors, so let's look at that. First up, I've been talking about this all quarter, last quarter, banks, financials. Look at that. We had our breakout. They really look strong here. So I still think there's an opportunity, especially as rates are continuing to go up higher. This is your daily view. So again, really good looking, a little bit overbought up top on relative strength, but we're still pointing up. The other thing is you have to look at the long-term view. Here's our weekly view, and you see the all-time high. So we still have a ways to go to hit all-time highs in financials. So yes, maybe short-term, a little bit overbought, but be patient. You can see at the bottom there, MACD momentum is pointing up. On the weekly chart, RSI still has a way to go. So, like financials here. Next one, healthcare. Haven't spoken about that one in a while. We did talk about biotech early in the quarter. But look, we've had a pullback in healthcare. Healthcare is a strong sector, obviously, the baby boomers, etc. When you look here, we have a bit of a bullish wedge going on. So again, like healthcare in this position, we were oversold. Have a little bit of a bounce there on relative strength up top. Momentum just starting to turn up, but do think this might be a good opportunity as we head into the quarter. The next thing is the relative chart. Healthcare relative to S&P. Take a look. Just turned up heading into the end of the quarter. So another reason why healthcare looks good here. Had a client call this week about oil. I look at this chart and I say I'm not ready yet for a couple reasons. One, look at that consolidation box. We've been stuck there for 2 years now. That's number one. Number two is we're still in the midst of a death cross. You can see that there. We are starting to turn up and there is potential. Now, momentum is pointing up obviously, but we're looking a bit oversold, overbought on relative strength. So right now, I'm still being patient on oil. I just don't see the opportunity, but we'll continue to watch because when you see this chart, again, let's go out to a weekly view, and here's one of the few charts. There's still a ways to go before it gets overbought. So you see here at the top, all-time highs, way below that. So at some point, it's going to be an opportunity. Maybe that's where our cash goes. Let's go to the big charts. First up, as always, we have our S&P daily view. What can I say? Looks great, right? Everything there, you've got momentum pointing up. I think we are getting a little bit overbought here, but it still looks strong. I mean, the S&P has, in fact, looked strong. A little bit of a pause last week. Went into the quarter with some real nice numbers. Now, here's the weekly chart. Do I see anything here that concerns me? A little bit. We see that wedge. That's going to have to be addressed. It looks like we're just breaking out on the weekly chart. You do have a way to go on the relative strength up top, and at the bottom is momentum again starting to turn up, so that is a good view as well. The Dow, we talked about this last week, again, strong. We are a little bit overbought, so that pause, which is kind of what we're facing right now, but again, I think it looks strong. You do see momentum at the bottom, maybe button hook in there, so we'll follow, but overall, the Dow has had a real strong year. Next up with the Dow is the Dow theory. Remember, the Dow and transports going together at all-time highs, and guess what? We hit it last week. Doesn't get any more bullish than that, so another very strong signal on the overall markets. Now, here's what I had to say about the NASDAQ 100 last week. So hopefully we'll see a bounce going into the next week. So yeah, we did get that bounce. All right, we're looking there. Here might be another opportunity. We've had a pullback in technology. Not a big one, obviously, but we did have a little bit of a pullback, so an opportunity going into the quarter. I see momentum pointing up at the bottom. We have a way to run on relative strength. So again, a nice opportunity. Here's your relative chart. NASDAQ 100 relative to the S&P. Okay, we were shooting up, had a little pullback, and here we go again, pulling up. So it looks to me like technology is a good place to be going into the final quarter, as it has been all year. Taking away all the noise, looks great. Here's our moving averages, 20, 30, 40, 50. Everything looks very strong here. Now, volatility, we haven't talked about this, but I'm going to update this chart. Here's the VIX over the last few years. Wow, there is no volatility, right? We closed Friday at 9.51. So what do you look for here? Well, one, when I look here, you look for opportunity when it spikes above 20. So if the VIX spikes, that's usually when the market will go down. Now, if it sustains above that, then yeah, it's time to move out. Now, here's a long-term chart. Here's what's really interesting. If you look at this, the last time we had the entire year under 20 was 2005. So I think with 3 months ago, there's a good chance that we're going to stay under 20. The other thing is, this is a monthly view, by the way, and that is a moving average, a monthly 40-week, 12-month, a monthly average, excuse me. And as long as you're above that, you're good. When you're below it, it's not good. That's when you get out, okay, or a trade signal to move out. But clearly, we are way above that, and it looks strong. Showed this last week, had a few comments. The big boys are all in. Last week down to 70-some%. 95% institutional money managers are invested. So that's another bullish sign. Here's another one. We're showing the 200-day moving average. Small, mid, large S&P, strong. Across the board, and yes, everybody's joining the party, and I've been waiting on this, and we've talked about small caps, right? Smalls have really broken out. This is something we're adding as we head into the quarter. You know, obviously we are up, and we're up about 5% in the last few weeks, but I do like where small caps are, especially if we get tax reform. I think there's an opportunity, so we are going to bring smalls back into our portfolio heading into this final quarter. The only thing I'll say is just be careful. It is a little bit overbought right now, so I would expect a bit of a consolidation when you look here, and then eventually, hopefully, we'll see some higher highs. Data last week, lower, pending home sales, inflation, home prices, value of homes are up. That's a good thing. Consumer confidence continues to go up. Jobless claims are up a little bit. Personal income up a little bit last week. And then our final read on GDP was at 3.1% in line, so a strong overall second quarter. So from there, what is the consumer thinking? Here we had 7% not bullish. Remember, this is contrarian. 37 neutral, 28 bearish. And a big move on the fear and greed. 85 last week. Yes, everyone's getting a little greedy. A week ago, it's 71. So this explains why all of our signals are positive right now. short term, midterm, long term. As always, we appreciate you watching our weekly video. If you have an opportunity, please send us an email, check out our website, join us on any social media platform. This is Michael Loftus, Loftus Wealth Strategies and Wealth and Wisdom TV.